So I was in a David Snyder training, and he told us a story about this substitute professor who came into a class for university, and he had this giant beaker and he filled it with rocks. And the rocks were like really big chunks of rock. Do you know what I mean? So they were odd shapes, and they kind of didn't fit together, but they kind of put them all into the beaker until he couldn't put any more. And then he asked the students, is the beaker full? And they said, no, it's not full. There are gaps between the rocks. So he took a sack of pebbles and he poured the pebbles in, and the pebbles would fill up the gaps in between the rocks. He said, well, is it full now? And some of them said, yes, it is full. And others said, no, it's not. So then he took a bag of sand and he pours the sand in, and the sand went into all the teeny tiny spaces that were between the pebbles and the rocks. And it really just filled it up. And he asked them, well, is it full now? And almost all the students agreed that, yes, it is full now. So then he took a pitcher of water and poured the water in. And they went, all right, okay, fine. It wasn't full, but it is now. And he said, well, what's the meaning of the lesson? You know, like what's the point of this? And the students said that, oh, well, no matter how much you put in, you can always put more. And he went, no, that's not the moral of the story. That's what I wanted to say. The moral of the story. He said, what it is if you don't put the big chunks in first, you'll never get them in. Right? So if you filled it up with water first and then try to put rock in, you'd just overflow. Right? So that's why you can never get too much of the basics. You know what I mean? So it's okay to do revision, because those are the big chunks and those are the most important ones.